Time is running out for reliable, repairable cars. It's a topic I've spoken about quite a bit here on the channel. I'm talking about the cars that you can pick up on a modest budget, that can be fixed by your local everyday mechanic. But what if we had a way to extend the life of them? See, the way I see things at the moment, we're at a precipice. These greatest hit peak era cars, they're starting to show their age, especially with the damp roads that we've got here in the UK. Left to their own devices, they are inevitably going to slip into extinction, probably quite a bit faster than most of us realise. What if, though, instead of watching them just slip away, what if we were able to give them a bit of a second life, a refresh, a bit of a preservation, ready for yet another decade or two of economical, trustworthy service? Well, that is exactly what I'm looking to offer. Let me start by saying why I think this is absolutely necessary. And again, I've spoken on this channel quite a bit about modern cars not being as reliable or having the same longevity that they used to. I've spoken about the £500 bulb repair that a Ford Focus needed. I've spoken about the way in which changing out even simple parts on a modern car often requires a trip to the dealership to code them in. You're married to the dealer's software. You're married to the main dealer. I've criticised the way in which modern parts are often of far lesser quality and are usually fundamentally unrepairable. Just take a look at modern LED headlights. Can't even swap a bulb anymore. You're buying a whole new unit for what, £700-800, sometimes north of £1,000. We are absolutely living in the era of the throwaway car. Because manufacturers, they don't necessarily want the cars to last or be easily repaired. They'd far rather you just went out and bought another brand new car. Their liability ends when that warranty expires. So why go above and beyond? Why make the cars last longer than they need to in their eyes? Here's why this really gets to me and why I view it as a genuine crisis. We have millions of people right here in the UK that rely on older cars to get them where they need to go. And again, I'm talking here about the cars you can pick up on a low budget that can be mended on driveways when minor problems do come up. I've been in this position many times, maybe some of you have as well. You're running a cheap car whilst you get back on your feet. The point is, we've benefited from the longevity that current 15, 20-year-old cars have to offer, a longevity that's no longer there in modern cars, which are built to last the warranty. So, what's the grand plan then? What am I getting at here? Well, the idea is really quite simple. It's preservation over restoration. Now, I'm not talking about nut and bolt rebuilds or making garage queens here. I'm talking about bringing good, usable cars back to their best without overcomplicating things or introducing unnecessary expense. I'm focusing specifically on the deserving heroes, the 10, 20-year-old Honda CR-Vs, the Civics, the Toyotas, and so on. All of the cars that you often see me feature in my "What car should I buy" style videos. Essentially, it's the most reliable cars from that golden era that are now in need of a bit of TLC before they begin to really deteriorate. I'll address whatever they need, whether that's suspension refreshes or major component swap outs, along with the proper underbody protection to stave off the corrosion for years to come. You've been watching me do it for years on YouTube anyway. It's going to be a quality over quantity approach. And if we wind up facing a part that's, let's say, hard to come by, not made by the manufacturer anymore, hard to get, or even excessively expensive, I'll just make it. That's a big perk of having worked alongside the automotive engineering world for about 12 years. I'll just make my own parts if it makes sense to do so. The goal here isn't about perfection, it's longevity. And, people at this point often say, well, why not go older? Why not look at older cars again when they had no CAN bus systems, when they were directly wired, when they were more mechanical, less electronic. And whilst, yeah, you've got a point, I agree, cars were simpler, even if we go back to the 90s. The problem there is they're hard to come by at this point in savable condition. And when they do come up, they're often really quite expensive for what they are. And they lack the mod cons that many of us have gotten used to in our daily driven cars. Why I think that 2005 to, let's say, around 2016 is the golden era is because, well, planned obsolescence by the manufacturers, it hadn't taken hold in the same way. Strangulating emissions standards hadn't yet hampered reliability the way in which they would in the years to come. And crucially, the cars had the mod cons, they were refined, they were largely reliable, they were comfortable, and they had just about the right amount of tech for most of us. Now, it goes without saying, I'll continue to share everything I'm doing right here on this channel. But if you'd like to be informed when I've got a car that's nearing completion to this standard, then please do join the mailing list that you'll find in the description below. The webpage is a little bit spartan at the moment, granted, but I'll be adding to it in the coming weeks. And the final thing that I wanted to add here, no, it's not a channel sponsor, it's thank you. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks for watching the videos. Thanks for pressing the like button time and time again, for choosing to subscribe, for choosing to hang around and listen to what I've got to say, and essentially taking a bit of a stand with me against this throwaway culture that has engulfed modern cars. There's no other way of putting it, is there? I'm not saying what I'm going to do here is going to change the world, but if it allows us to keep our beloved, simpler cars a little bit longer, then I'm all in.